And so I'm standing outside like looking around the parking lot. I call my roommate. I'm like, Chris, tell me why my car is not where I parked it. She was like, girl, you tripping.
You look like, nigga. I still know what you look like.
Yo, what's up everybody? It's your girl Miracle Alon. Welcome back to my channel. And today, as you can tell by the title, I am finally going to be giving y'all the tea on how I got my car stolen off my college campus. November 14th, me and my friend, which is my roommate, we was chilling in our room. We was like, okay, boom, we finna go to our homeboy's room and do our work over there with the rest of our friends. So went over there, stayed over there for like an hour, and then one of the boys in the room, he was like, do y'all want to go to Claflin because they having a meltdown, which we already knew, and it was like a pajama meltdown, so it wasn't like we had to get dressed up and nothing. Mind you, it was their homecoming, so that's why they was having it. But it wasn't nothing really major, so we wasn't in a rush to get there, but we was like, we do want to go before it ends. So we walked, because Claflin is right next to my HBCU, so you could really just walk. So that's what we did. So we walked from our dorms to their campus, and we went to the party with my best friend, whatever. We stayed out to the party for a little minute, probably like an hour, if not an hour, like 45 minutes. It didn't get shut down, but like with Claflin, if they're going to end something at a certain time, they're going to end it at the time they say they're going to end it. So we got out there like 11 o'clock. They ended it like 12, maybe 12:15, maybe, probably not. After they ended it, we had heard that it was an after move at this boy house that stayed right outside our campus. So we was like, okay, bet, we finna go get my car. We could have walked, but then we would have had to walk back on our campus, and we just didn't want to do that. So we went back to our dorms, got my car, and we drove to the party. So we at the party from like 12 to maybe like 2 o'clock, I want to say. It's on my Snapchat, but I don't have Snapchat right now, so I can't really give y'all the exact times. But I do know we left at like 2 o'clock in the morning. So we was there for a good minute, left, dropped everybody off. So I dropped my best friend off back at her campus, and then we dropped everybody else off as well and went to go get food. So we went to Cookout. Cookout probably delayed like 30 minutes because that line be taking a long time. It probably put like 20, I'm gonna say 15 to 30 minutes on the like added to the time that we got back to our dorm. So we go get food, get back to the dorm. I park right in front of a faculty and staff only sign, right? But they usually never tow my car when I park there because I park there a lot. So I'm like, I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm like, oh, I'm good, like ain't nothing finna happen, and I'm sleepy, so I'm not even really thinking like nothing about my car getting towed. I'm just thinking about getting in my room. We get our food, get our stuff, we get out. Mind you, like I said, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but everybody that was out is still out because the party wasn't over. We just had left because it was getting too packed in that little house. We was looking around because me and my roommate, we always do that. Like, we look around the parking lot, see who all's out there, just to make sure we not alone. And if we are alone, then we just gonna hurry up and get in our room because a lot of stuff be going down at our school, and you just got to keep your head in a swivel. She has the drinks and I had the food. So we go upstairs. Mind you, we stayed on the 3rd floor, so we, like, as we're going up the stairs, if it's anybody in the parking lot, we can see if there's anybody there. I promise y'all there was nobody behind us that we could see. There was nobody there. Me and her get upstairs. The way I used to have my keys was I used to have my house key, like all of my house keys, my my wallet, my lanyard, my I had an air tag on my keys, so like my air tag, but I think my AirTag had fallen off at this point. I used to have everything on my key, plus my dorm key, of course. So I used my keys to unlock the room door because she couldn't, because she had like a big thing of drinks in her hand, so she couldn't. So I unlocked the door, we get in. She had dropped her key on the ground. This is how I remember that I opened the door with my key. She dropped her key on the ground. I'm looking at her scoop the key in the room with her foot. As I'm opening the door, I'm watching her do that. She go in the room, she gives me my stuff, like she sits on the counter. She go in the room, I get my stuff, I go in my room, and I go to sleep. The next day I wake up, I think my class started around like 12, if not 12, like 11 o'clock. Her class was before me because Christina had like a 10 a.m. If it wasn't a 10, it was probably like a 9 a.m. class. And I knew that she would have seen something before I did, or she probably would have seen if my car was out there before I did, but we're gonna get to that. So I get up like normal, everything's cool. Christina's not there because of course she's in class. I'm getting dressed because I wake up at 9. If her class started at 9, she was already in class, and I would wake up at 9 when I had a 12 or 11 o'clock class. So I'm getting dressed, everything's cool, everything's normal. And I think I was already late for class, so I didn't even end up going to class this day. I walk outside, I go to the parking lot. Now y'all, the class that I had is in Turner Hall, which is like right next to my dorm, because I stayed in Houdini B. So I used to walk to my class, but I would stop by my car sometimes if I left something in there. Sometimes I would leave my book bag in my car, which I had did because I don't know, I'm gonna stop doing that. This upcoming year I'm not doing that. But I had left my book bag in my car, so I went to where I parked my car to go get my book bag to go to class. I get to the parking spot and my car is not there. And so I'm standing outside like looking around the parking lot. I call my roommate. I'm like, Chris, tell me why my car is not where I parked it. She was like, girl, you tripping. Why don't you remember, like, did you just forget where you parked your car? I'm like, no, Christina, like, it's not here. I know where I parked my car. And sometimes I will forget where I parked. That's probably why she said that. But I knew exactly where I parked my car. So she was like, girl, I'm coming downstairs to come help you. So she comes downstairs, me and her both looking in the parking lot. The parking spaces got every other car but my car. So I'm thinking one of two things. I'm thinking that my car got towed, but in the back of my mind, I'm just like, maybe, you know, it's a possibility that it got stolen. But I'm not really thinking that my car got stolen. I'm just like, okay, I did park in front of the faculty and staff sign last night, so maybe they just towed my car. Cause on state campus, they'll tow you for anything. So I was like, okay, maybe they just towed my car. Let me call the towing people or call campus police and ask them if they seen any towing trucks on campus. So I called campus police and they was like, no, they haven't seen any towing trucks this morning. And then I checked in the group chat because we have dorm group chats. And so I was like, well, if they was towing, somebody would have been texted and said, y'all go move y'all car, they towing, because they do that all the time. So now I'm getting scared because nobody said they was towing, one. And the lady told me that they didn't see any tow trucks on campus. So I'm like, oh, so my car is like, now the only thing I can come to is my car got stolen. I go in the room, my homeboy was in there with my other friend. So the four of us, we all sit in the room talking like, did you leave your keys in the car? Like, did you drop your keys outside in the parking lot? Like, what could have happened? Because I know I unlocked the door last night. So I was like, nah, the keys had to be in my room, or they had to be somewhere near the room because I opened the door. My homeboy, he was like, okay, we finna go outside. We finna help you look. So they went outside with us. They helped us look. Car wasn't there. I'm texting everybody I know, calling everybody I know. I'm like, do y'all see my car in like y'all dorm parking lot? Do y'all see my car on the other side of Houdini? Like, nobody seen it. So I was like, okay, cool. So I go on Snapchat. I'm like, y'all, my car just got stolen. So everybody's sliding up like, girl, ain't no way. How did that happen? You for real? You serious? You joking? Your car didn't get stolen. No, seriously, my car had got stolen. At this point, I don't know how to tell my grandmother, like, hey, your daughter's car that you allowing me to drive. Because my mama, it was my mama's car, but it was passed down to me because she had passed away. So I don't know how to call her up and be like, hey, your deceased daughter's car just got stolen off my college campus. Because my grandma, she not like the most easygoing person sometimes. And she's not the easiest person to talk to sometimes. So first thing, I already knew she was going to blame me, because that's what you're going to do anyway. If your car gets stolen, if anybody's car gets stolen, I'm blaming the person whose car it is. Because like when stuff like that happen, you left your car running, or you left your keys in the car, or you dropped your keys, you was being irresponsible, just something like that. So I called my grandmother and I'm like, the car is not where I parked it. I don't know what happened. I think the car is stolen because I called the people and they said there wasn't no tow trucks on campus, blah blah blah. So she's like, okay, well, you need to file a police report with the real police. So I'm like, okay, cool. Call the real police. The lady told me, she was like, no ma'am, there's nothing we can do about it. If the car was taken off your college campus, then it's your campus security's job. Like, it's their responsibility. But I'm like, if it was on the campus and it's not, now it's your responsibility. But she wasn't trying to hear that, so I hung up on her and I was like, okay, let me call my auntie. She was the closest person to me at this point, so I'm like, okay, let me call her, see what she can do. She couldn't come immediately because of course she at work. So she was like, okay, I'm gonna come tomorrow, we're gonna go to the police station, we're gonna talk to the police, we're gonna see what we could do. So I said fuck class. I didn't go to class this day. I didn't go to class for like 3 or 4 days, probably that whole week. I don't think I even went to class. But I ended up going to the police station and I felt so bad. Shout out to Captain Taylor, because it was his birthday and this was my like first time ever meeting him. I didn't know him before this, and it was his birthday, and me coming to him as a distressed freshman crying because my car got like stolen, and he's like, damn, it's my birthday and this is what I gotta deal with on my birthday. He had a cake and everything, y'all. I felt so bad. I really appreciate him, because if it wasn't for him, I feel like my car probably wouldn't have, I would have gotten my car back, but I wouldn't have gotten it. Let me not even lie like that. I probably wouldn't have got my car back if it wasn't for him. But I go to the police station and I'm telling him, like, I opened the door last night, so my keys were in my dorm at some point. I just don't know like how somebody could have gotten my keys. I don't sleep too hard, but if somebody comes in my room, I'm not, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna hear you, even if I'm asleep. So I was like, I don't think nobody came in my room, but if they did, that's creepy. Now I'm scared, because I'm like, what if somebody did come in my room and take my keys while I'm asleep? Like, you standing over me while I'm asleep. So he was like, okay, do you want to ask your roommates? Because in Houdini, it's 4 people to a room. So he's like, do you want to ask your other 2 roommates? Because I know Christina didn't take my car. But I was like, I mean, we could ask the other 2 if anybody had came in the room, like if they had anybody in the room, blah blah blah, whatever. He like has a little investigation, a little minor investigation with him, asked them questions, da da da. They said they don't know what was going on. They said they don't know what happened, which ended up being true. But a lot of people around campus thought that they had me set up and that they had taken my car. So it was just a bunch of different stories. So mind y'all, day goes by, and of course I gotta go about my day, because I mean, what else am I gonna do? They can't just go get the car. Like, it's off campus. It could be anywhere right now. So day goes by, I'm stressing out, spending most of my time at the police station, but eventually I did leave and just gave it a rest for the rest of the day. So Me and my friends end up going to the CAF. We go to the CAF. As we're sitting in the CAF, the police come in. And this was like right before the CAF closed. So I want to say this was like 7:30. The CAF closed at 8. So this was like 7:30, 7:45, close to closing time. So we're all sitting there. The police comes in. I'm thinking that they coming in because they done found my car. But they don't come in, like, they don't say nothing to nobody. They just comes in, they walk around. They go to like this table that was filled with boys, like freshman boys. They talk to them for a little bit and then they leave. So we all look around like, what's going on? I call Captain Taylor. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Why is the police like on campus? What's going on? You know, I'm trying to figure out if it's anything about my car. So he was like, no, campus is on lockdown because somebody had got robbed. So I'm like, oh, so it's not about my car. But everybody thought that I was the person who had got robbed. I mean, I did kind of get robbed in a way, but no, it wasn't me. I didn't get robbed. And I actually believe it was a boy that had got robbed. And like but it wasn't. Like, and I is right across from the dorm that I stay in. But everybody thought it was me because it happened on the same day. It was not me. So if you thought it was me, you can go ahead and throw that out the window because it wasn't me. Campus is on lockdown. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody that's off campus is trying to get on campus, but they're not letting nobody in. Everybody that's on campus is trying to get off campus, but they're not letting nobody out. Because I believe this same night it was a party. Because like I said, it was Claflin homecoming, so people partying all week. So it was a party, I think, at the garden room. And everybody was like, dang, how are we supposed to go to the party? Did not let nobody off campus. Luckily, the lockdown didn't last that long, so it really didn't matter. But yeah. So the next day, I get up. I go to the police station. That's the first thing that I do. I go to the police station, and Officer Cheeseborough, shout out to her, and Captain Taylor are looking at the footage on all of the cameras around campus to see like when my car left out. They asking me for my tag, what my tag looks like. And y'all, this was the most aggravating part because I know what my tag looked like, but I had a hard time like explaining to them what the design was on my tag. And I kept telling them like, no, it's a sunset tag. Like how the sunsets, that's the type of tag it is. And every car that passed through that looked like my car was not my car. Cause none of them had the same tag. Like, I know my tag number. It just wasn't my car. And we looking at footage, mind you, while we're looking at footage, the Wi-Fi already not that strong, the internet already not that strong. The internet goes out. So we trying to look at the cameras shut down because it ain't no internet. And this happened like 3 times. So I'm over it at this point. I'm like, I'm never gonna get my car back. I'm never gonna see who took it. We can't even figure out when the person left off campus with my car because it's not showing up on the cameras. Like, it was just every minor inconvenience that could be inconvenience was inconveniencing at that point. My aunt comes and she basically just clarifies like the tag number, the year of the car, all that stuff, just to make sure that like I got all the right information. Okay, so I wake up, this probably like 2 days after my car got stolen. My friends on the phone with me like saying, oh girl, we outside looking for your car. And they literally were like on foot walking around Claflin campus, which is right next to my college, like I said, looking for my car in the parking lots, asking people if they know, if they seen a Honda Accord, da-da-da-da. Y'all, after that, everywhere that I went off campus, I kept seeing the model of my car, but it wasn't my car. I kept seeing black Hondas everywhere, black Honda Accords everywhere. Never seen that many versions of my car before until my car got stolen. But kept seeing that car everywhere, but it was never my car. Later on that night, I'm chilling with my friends. And y'all, this is the part that really get me. This is the part that get me right here. The police officer, Captain Taylor, he had made it to where he could look off campus, like have off-campus jurisdiction, to where if he saw my car, he could, you know, do what he had to do to get my car. And I want to say they gave him statewide. I want to say, do not quote me on that, but I do believe that's what they did. He also had people like the real police officers, he actually had them out looking for my car, patrolling to see if they seen my car anywhere around Orangeburg. Later on that same night, I get 2 DMs on my Instagram. One was from like a boy. I think he had sent me a video, and another one was from a girl. She sent me a video as well, but she had called me. That's what really caught my attention, is she had called me on Instagram. And I was like, who had called me on Instagram and why? So I look at my Instagram. It's a girl from Claflin. Mind you, like I said, the night before, matter of fact, this was the night of the party. So this was the day before I had my friends was out looking for my car at Claflin. So that night I didn't go out. I was gonna go out, but I didn't. Like I said, the girl had DM'd me. She called me. She called me like 3 times, but I didn't see it. So when I finally looked at my DM, she was like, oh my God, is this your car? Girl, is this your car at Cookout? Y'all, tell me why the person who had my car was in Cookout drive-through, chilling, windows down, arm out the window. He's chilling. Ain't got no care in the world. Knowing, he knew I'm a college student. You know, and I'm gonna get to this, you know, people know I'm looking for my car. You don't care at this point. I ain't never met nobody more I don't give a fuck in the world besides him. She was like, girl, isn't this your car? Because it was my tag, like, it was my car, basically. It was my car. He was at the drive-thru getting food. She sent me a video. She was standing behind my car. So she was like, do you want me to follow him? And I was like, damn, I'm like 30 minutes late. But yes, if you seen where he went, or if he's still there, because like I said, Cookout take a long time. So I was like, if he's still there potentially, or if y'all seen which direction he went in, can y'all please go see like where he took my car? She was like, they did end up following him, but he had went to the other side of Orangeburg and they had lost him, or they just had stopped following him. So I was like, okay, at least, I mean, I ain't got my car back, but at least I know he's still in Orangeburg. So I called Captain Taylor. I'm like, hey, this girl sent me a video. He was at Cookout. He's laughing because he's like, ain't no way they just feel comfortable enough to just be driving your car like that and going to get Cookout, where they know youngins hang at, where they know kids that go to school with you are going to be probably going to recognize your car. And that's the same thing for me too. Like, why are you taking my car places where you know somebody gonna recognize my car? That's how I know he really did not care. The next day, the Q was having a Founders Day celebration or whatever, and I hadn't gone out in a minute because, like I said, I was dealing with going back and forth to the police station and spending most of my time up there all day long. My friends was like, we might as well go. So we did. We parked our car at Houdini because that's where the Founders Day little celebration had started. They had told everybody to meet them in Houdini Courtyard, so that's where everybody went. So we parked our car at the back of Houdini. And if you stay in Houdini, you know D parking lot, that's the back of Houdini. From the courtyard, they took us all the way down to the pit, well, to the plaza. And that's where we stayed at. So we went there. I'm out there talking to people, like people asking me how you got your car stolen. My homeboys that I hadn't talked to in a minute, they coming up to me like, how did you get your car stolen? What happened? Everybody just trying to be nosy. So I'm out there talking. I'm having a good time. I'm not forgetting that my car is stolen, of course, but I'm just trying to use this as like a chance to take my mind off of it or whatever. I knew there was a potential chance that I wasn't gonna get my car back, so I'm just like, it's no need to let this really ruin my mood, because there's nothing I can do about it. Like, I'm not Superwoman. It's really nothing I can do about it. They get it back, great, but if they don't, like, you know, that's just the worst case scenario, whatever. We're out there, and I want to say we was out there for maybe like 40, I'm gonna say 30 minutes. And if not 30, it was probably 20, because I don't want to drag it with 40, because I promise we was not out there for that long. So we out there, and somehow my friends aren't with me anymore. So I'm standing like at the front. My friends are standing like 10 feet away from me. So my roommate, she walks off. She goes to talk to them. 5 minutes later, she comes back. She's like, Miracle, they found your car. So we book it, like we run all the way from the plaza to the back of Houdini to get in my friend's car so that we can hurry up and get the cookout, because that's where the nigga was. That's where he went again 2 nights in a row. Like, you thought you wasn't gonna get caught and you went back to the same place again, same time. So it's people standing on the steps, and it's people down where I was, but it's people from State and Claflin, so it's a lot of people out there. We running for our lives, seem like, and everybody looking at us like, why they running? They thinking that we finna start fighting. That was not the case. We was just trying to hurry up and get my car, but we're running. Is this mask ready to peel? Almost. So we're running or whatever, and we like 7 people deep. Matter of fact, let me count to make sure, so I can give y'all an exact number. So it's me, my best friend, Jazz, Christina, Zaria, Shania, Taylor, Mia, and I want to say Naya. So it's 9 of us. Yeah, it's 9 of us trying to fit into. And y'all, my friend had a she had a Crown Vic, and a Crown Vic only seats 6 people, because they got like the little seat in the middle in the front. So only 6 of us can fit in this car, but it's 9 people trying to get in this car. She's like yelling like, everybody can't get in my car, everybody can't get in my car. If you in this car, I need everybody to get out right now, because everybody can't get in my car. And I'm just like, she going off, but I'm still not in the car yet, y'all. So everybody's trying to get in a car. Me and my best friend, we're not in the car. And I'm just like, can we please hurry up, because I do not want this man to pull off in my car again and enjoy his little cookout that he just paid for. It's not going down like that no more. He did that yesterday, he's not doing that again. It's not dry. I'm gonna leave it alone. So we get in the car and she zooms off. We did leave some people behind. If we left you behind, so sorry, but she zooms off. And y'all, I had never seen no Crown Vic get up that fast ever. I mean, we was going like turbo speed. So we get the cookout in no time. As we're at the light, I can see like the police was already there, because when we was on the way, like as we was getting in the car, I was on the phone with Captain Taylor. I'm like, Captain Taylor, Tay just called me and said that she seen like my car. Because what happened was, if you don't know Tay, shout out to Tay. She is a comedian. Baby girl is so funny. It's hard to take her seriously, but this time she was really serious, y'all. Her and her friends was at cookout in the line, and they was behind my car. And so they said they had called Zaria, and they was like, why I think I see Miracle car. And she was like, let me see. And it was my car. But Tay was like joking. She was like, why I think this Miracle car? This looked like Miracle car. But Tay didn't know that it was my car for real. She just kind of suspected it was my car because of the tag. And Zaria was like, no, that's her car for real. And she was like, oh shoot, y'all need to come up here before he pull off. He getting food at cookout, this, that, and the third. So like I said, we got there. And when we get to the red light, I can see him already being like arrested. They already had him in handcuffs, but I can't see his face. All I can see is like the silhouette of a man. Like, and at the time I wasn't paying attention to nothing that he had on. I was just relieved that I finally could see the person that had took my car. We get to the parking lot. I get out, I start boohoo crying, because I was so stressed out in these 2 days that my car was gone. I had never felt that type of stress in my life. I was so stressed out, and it was just such a big relief to kind of be able to see my car and know that, you know, I don't gotta stress no more. Like, know that everything was kind of cool at this point. My best friend, she hugging me. She like, it's over. They acting like somebody died, but that's how I was crying, y'all. I was crying like I had just lost somebody for real. She was like, it's over. You don't gotta stress no more about it. They got your car. You're gonna be good. So they put him in the back of the police car, and I was like, okay, cool. I'm thinking I'm gonna get my car back, drive it back to school. Nah, they was like, no, we gonna hold your car for a couple days, because we need to do an investigation on him to figure out when, how, what, who, where all that stuff, and your car is a mess. Once we got back to campus, we had went to the plaza to go finish seeing the queues, because I mean my car is found at this point. It's time to turn up. So we had went back to the plaza to go finish seeing the queues, but by the time we got there it was over. But people were still out there, so we was talking to our homeboys and they was like, so you found your car, how did it happen? And at this point I don't have no answers for people, because I'm just like, I don't know how my car got stolen. Like, I know just as much as y'all know, which is that my car got stolen. I can't tell y'all who stole it, I can't tell y'all when, I can't tell y'all how, I can't tell nobody nothing. That's just how that was. So Captain Taylor calls me, he's like, I need you to come to the police station with your aunt. And my auntie was already on the way, but she was already here. So he was like, okay, y'all need to come to the police station so that I can, you know, give you the keys back and tell you what happened. Because of course they had to do an investigation on him and figure out why he did it and who he was. Did he have a criminal record, all that stuff. So me and my friends get to driving to the police station that's in the back of campus. As I'm driving, y'all, why, like, they're bringing my car in, so we're behind my car because it was the tow truck that they had bring my car in. Why I see boys, like my friends, recording my car getting brought in, about to put it on Snapchat. I said, I wrote it one and I said, don't put my car on Snapchat, because at this point people was making up their own stories. I feel like people was making a joke out of it. And yeah, it's funny now, but at the time it was not funny. It was not funny. So I'm just like, nah, don't put my car on Snapchat. I know it's back on campus. That's it. Nobody else need to know anything until I'm ready to tell everybody what happened. We get to the police station and we're looking in all the police cars because we're trying to see, like, if the man is still in the car. I don't know why we did that, because I was scared, because I'm like, I don't know who this man is, what his real intentions are. Like, I don't know who this man is. But we were sure looking at all those cars, trying to see if he was still in the police cars, and he was. We just couldn't see him because of how dark the tent was. So I know he seen us looking at him. I know he seen me looking in the car. Like, of course I didn't know I was looking at him, but I know he seen us. We get in the police station, we in the waiting room, and Captain Taylor and them bring him from like the side door to their little room or whatever. So I can't see his face, but I can see, like, it was like a little mirror they had. I could see him through the mirror. I could see his reflection. And so at that point I'm getting antsy, because I'm like, they finna ask him, like, I'm finally finna know what really happened. Hold on, I need to go get my thing. Hold on, y'all. So he had brought me and my auntie back in the room, and he was like, I'm gonna tell you this. It's gonna sound real crazy when I tell you what happened. And I'm just sitting there waiting, like, can you please just tell me what happened, because I'm so anxious to figure out how this could have possibly happened. I'm not gonna say it's my fault, but car stolen or car not stolen, something bad was going to happen this night. So he told me, he said, the person who stole your car works at State. So I was like, oh, that was that was what really had, like, tripped me out. Because if the person worked at State, I don't know if they had seen me before. I don't know if they could have been watching me. I don't know. And me and my friends, like, of course, like any other college student, we used to stay out late. We don't know if these people ever seen us before, which I'm sure he probably has, and I'm gonna get to that. He was like, he didn't lie. He told us straight up everything that, you know, he planned to do, everything that he did. Like, he was just very open with the information. When me and my roommate got back, from Cookout. The man had seen us get out the car. Mind y'all, from what we could see, there was nobody else outside with us. So I'm tripped out because I'm like, what he mean he watched us get out the car? Because we was the only people outside. Like, I'm confused. It was nobody else outside with us. I was wrong. Apparently he was outside with us too. He was like, he watched y'all get out the car. He followed y'all up the stairs. And y'all, the man must have watched us get out the car, watched us go upstairs, and seen which direction we went in. Because on each floor of Houdini, there are only 4 rooms. And it's 2 rooms each direction. We would have heard if he was coming up behind us on the stairs. One, because I remember that we was like super tired, so we weren't like being loud and talking and laughing and doing all that. So we definitely would have heard him, and I feel like we would have felt a presence as well. So I feel like he waited until we really got upstairs before he came. So he said the man said that he seen us get out the car, followed us upstairs, seen which room we went to, or seen which direction we went to. And you know what I did, y'all? I accidentally left my key in the door. Y'all probably gonna be like, girl, see, that's your problem. It was my problem. I hold myself accountable for that any day. But like I said, whether my car had gotten stolen, key or no key, something bad was gonna happen this night. His original plan was not to steal my car. That was never in his plan. His plan was to follow us upstairs, pry his way into the room, and I guess he just happened to be too late because the door was shut, but also he could have walked right in because my key was in the door. He said that he plans to barge into the room because Houdini doors, I'm starting to learn, are not that hard to break down if you're strong enough. He could have easily gotten in if he was really determined. Now, he hadn't told me if the man was planning on coming in the room to rob or if he was planning to come in the room to sexually assault and or rape. I think that the man was coming into the room to rape because we looked at his past criminal history, and he has been he has charges against him for sexual assault. He would have chose to rape me and my roommates, which I want to apologize to them because that put us in danger. It also just shows how you have to be really careful. Even when you think, like, even when you start to get comfortable, you still gotta keep your head on a swivel and you still gotta be careful because you never know who's watching you. And I say that because as we're talking, Captain Taylor pulls out a phone, and this is like an old little iPhone 5, like I don't even know how it's still working. And he was like, this is his cell phone and I want you to look in his gallery. So I go to his gallery, and the man had a picture of me in his phone. And it wasn't just any picture, it was my Instagram in his phone. He also had the picture of when I posted my car being stolen in his phone. So he knew my car was stolen. He knew I was looking for it. He knew people in general were looking for it. And obviously he didn't care because he wasn't hiding. And that's what scares me too, because I'm just like, so this man really don't care about getting caught. Like, he don't care about getting caught, because if he did, he would have, you know, he wouldn't have been at Cookout, somewhere where a lot of young kids hang out, eat, do all that stuff. Like, he wouldn't have risked his chances of getting caught at all if he actually cared. I could have been a victim to rape. I could have gotten raped that night. Obviously, I was a target for him because he had pictures of me in his phone. So he could have been following me while I'm leaving from class. He could have been watching me. He could have seen me and my roommates other nights when we went up to our room. Like, this could have really been like a setup, and he just was waiting for the right moment to do it, you know? And that's what scared me the most. And I was crying. And when I like told my friends, I was just like, we were all crying because you never know. Like, it's so easy for men to do stuff to women, especially like a woman of my size, because I'm small. I'm a skinny girl. You could pick me up and take me somewhere in 2 seconds. Nobody would know. Nobody would know, because it's not like you're gonna struggle. You're not gonna struggle. So that's what really scared me the most. Like, dang, I don't know, like, if this was his first time seeing me, and I doubt it was. So it could have been any other time before that this man was just like, yeah, today's the day that I'm finna finally take action or do something. He told me, he was like, he also didn't give back all of your stuff. So when he gave back my keys, he only gave back my car keys. I was like, okay, maybe he tossed it. Maybe he just tossed my stuff after he stole my car, because I mean, I'm sure that happens a lot. People just like toss out the owner's stuff or whatever. I was like, maybe he threw it in the trash, or he dumped it somewhere, or he just tossed it out the window or whatever. But the other half of me is thinking like, okay, what if he didn't throw none of your stuff away? What if he gave it to somebody and was like, if I get caught, here's her dorm key, this is what dorm she stay in, this is what room she stays in, like, finish the job. You know, that's where my mind was. And it was hard not to think like that, because when you feel like you're a victim to something, your mind is going a mile a minute, and you're thinking about every worst case scenario, everything that could go wrong. And I was really going through like the victim, because I was a victim, you know, but I was going through the victim mentality fast. Like, my mind was going, and I was thinking about everything that could happen in a short amount of time. So when we left the police station, I told my roommate, I said, we're not staying in our rooms tonight. We're getting our stuff that's valuable, because I feel like if I was to rob somebody and I knew that I was gonna get caught and I had access to get back in their room, I'm gonna give it to my friend or my partner and be like, just in case I get caught, go finish that, you know. But that's where my mind was. I was like, well, maybe everybody don't think like you. Everybody don't think like you, Miracle. But I'm just like, what if they do think like me? That's where my mind was. My mind was just like, what if he sends somebody back to finish whatever he started? You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, he's a stranger that knows where I stay, and he has a key to my room. And I had told the people, I was like, I don't feel comfortable with somebody having my dorm room key that knows where I stay, that stole my car. So I want my locks changed tonight if possible. And they was like, oh, no problem. We can get your locks changed tonight. Blase, blase, blase. My locks weren't changed until like that next day. And you know, of course you don't want to expect somebody to put, you know, everything they got going on the side just to accommodate you. But I really was like, nah, y'all need to get on it, because y'all not moving fast enough for me. I ended up staying in my friend's room for the night, and then I went back in the morning when it was time for me to go to class or whatever. So the next day, after I had slept in my friend's room, I had court the next day. So I had to go to court, and my friend, the one with the Crown Vic, she took me to court. So it was me, her, my grandmother, and Captain Taylor. We all had went to court, and I thought that he was gonna be there, but he wasn't there. The only people that was in the room was us, the judge, like the police officers, and that was about it. I don't remember anybody else being there. So what they did was, they had the people that was like suspects or whatever, they had them video call. Like, they had them come in through a video call, and they was talking to the judge like that. And so we stayed there the whole time. They made us, like, we had to stay the whole time and listen to it, because it was like 5 or 6 people that went before me that had to talk to the judge about what they, you know, had did or what they didn't do, like blah 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 blah. And so finally he is the next one to get, you know, on the call. So the judge is talking to him, and the judge is like, you know, do you want to stand up and say anything? So I was real nervous, because I didn't want this man to hear my voice. I didn't want to hear his voice. I didn't want to see him. I didn't want to be near him, anything like that. But I was like, he's not here, luckily, so that takes some of my anxiety away. And I just was like, okay, boom, whatever. So I stood up, introduced myself. I said, you know, he had taken something that my mom, just trying to play on the judge's sympathy, not really play on his sympathy, because I mean, it's nothing to, there was nothing to play about, but I just was telling him, like, you know, this was my mom's car. She passed away when I was 15. This was all I have left of her. Like, besides my mom's clothes, really that car is like the only, you know, valuable thing that I really have left of my mom. And so I was just like telling him that. And once I got done speaking, the judge was like, I'm so sorry for your loss, da da da. Then he started talking to the suspect, and the suspect was allowed to speak. And he told everybody, he was like, you know, I'm sorry for what I did. I was wrong, and I just want to apologize to the girl, such and such. I didn't know that her mom passed. It don't matter if my mom is dead or alive. You took something from me, love. Like, that's not a factor. That don't matter, but you can keep that or whatever. Cause I didn't really care about what he had to say, cause like I said, I didn't want to hear him speak. But yeah, that's just what it was. So we leave, go back to the police station. They give me my car back. So y'all, I get my car back, right? And mind y'all, I'm having to do the runaround for everything. Like, I don't have no dorm key. I gotta go get a dorm key. I don't have no student ID. I have to go get a student ID. I don't have my license. When I get my car back, I don't have a license. Had to get a license. Once I got my car back, finally, I hadn't looked at my car since, like, you know, they found it, and between the court dates and all that stuff, I hadn't looked at my car because they weren't allowing me to look at it. So finally, Captain Taylor was like, okay, we're gonna let you take your car back today, but you are gonna need to go get it cleaned thoroughly. Y'all, he was not joking when he said I need to go get it cleaned thoroughly. When I looked at my car, as soon as I opened the door, I was greeted with cigarette, like just cigarette smoke, like the smell of the cigarette smoke, cigarette butts, ashes, like all of that stuff was all over my seats. It was all on my carpet. It was all in my cup holder. Like, it was just everywhere. Then he had cases of beer. Like, he had 2 full cases of beer in my back seat, and then he had like the glass beers. He had the glass beer like just under, it was like glass beer under my seat. It was glass beer in the passenger seat, and his cookout was sitting right on the passenger seat, y'all. His little bag and that old stale food was sitting right there that he never got to eat. So I hope he was starving. But it was all just sitting right there. And like, my car smelled so bad. It looked bad, but it smelled so bad because like the food, and then the cigarettes, the old like beer cans that he had in there. He had like receipts and stuff, and then he had like I told you, my book bag was in my car when it got stolen. My book bag is a spray ground book bag, and I knew he was old because 1, well, he had an iPhone 5, but 2, he ain't touched my book bag. Me, if I steal somebody's car and they got a spray ground book bag, oh, I'm selling that. I'm selling it, because those book bags are like $100 plus $200. So I was like, yeah, he old, because all he did was take my book bag and dump it out. For what reason, I don't know, because you could look in it and tell that there was nothing in it but school stuff. But he just took it, dumped it out. I had some very expensive shoes in my trunk. Very expensive. $700 shoes. $800 shoes. But I had those shoes in my car because I was using them, and I didn't never take them out. So I had my shoes in my trunk, y'all. The man took my shoes, which he's smart for that. He's smart. But he took my shoes. I had like some jackets. He took my jackets. I don't know, like, I don't know if this was true or he was just making up something or whatever, but I don't think this is a lie because he didn't lie about nothing else. He told Captain Taylor that the reason that he stole my car was because he originally didn't plan to steal my car. He originally planned to barge into the room, do what he do, leave. But he seen my keys and he was like, well, I might as well just steal her car instead. So that's what he did. Then he was like, well, now that I got me a car, I might as well use it to impress my girlfriend. So that's what he did. He had him and her riding around in my car. He was like, he stole my car because he wanted to impress her. And I'm like, you gonna impress her with a Honda Accord? A Honda Accord, love. Come on now. Like, and I had my stuff in my car. She ain't noticed that stuff wasn't yours. She dumb too. Or maybe she knew he stole it. I don't know. Maybe he told her, like, you know. Don't ask me because I really don't know. Yeah, that is what happens. He planned to rape, but then he changed his mind and he was like, he's just gonna take my car instead and impress his girlfriend, stole my things, gave me a heart attack for a couple days. But I think his actual like trial was January 16th of this past January. And I just got word back that he is actually going to jail. So I am happy because shouldn't have stole my car, shouldn't have gave me a heart attack. But I'm not gonna say I'm grateful that he took my car because nobody wants their car stolen, but I am glad that that is what he chose to do rather than doing what he originally planned to do, because I don't think that I could handle being raped or sexually assaulted. Nah, I don't think that I would not be. I can just only imagine. I can really only imagine how I would be right now if that had happened. Like, with me having like that victim mentality, when I thought that he could potentially come back, or he could have somebody come back and do what he didn't get a chance to do, I just know it would have been 10 times worse if something like that had actually happened to me. So I am a lot more careful now. I do recommend getting an AirTag for your keys so that you always know where your keys are. Just keep your head on a swivel, be more responsible. That's for myself and that's for everybody that's watching this video. And also make sure you find out the whole story before y'all start spreading lies. I was not robbed at gunpoint. That is not how that went down. So if you said that, middle fingers up to you. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I will be coming with more story times. So yeah, we out.